Like, there was a lot of hope. There was a lot of huff and bluster. And, oh, look, Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't get the preseason. That's why he wasn't sharp. They won 10 games last year, didn't make the playoffs. Won 10 games last year, and there was this sense that, all right, you got Fitz back. You got Brandon Marshall back. You got Darrelle Revis back. You added Matt Forte as your running back. Like, they kind of went for it. And so once Fitz would find his rhythm, they'd be all right. They are not all right. The Jets are now 3-9. They lost 41-10, and if that sounds bad, the truth is it was a lot worse than that score. I mean, the Colts were going in for what should have been their fourth touchdown in the first half, only to fumble at the 1-inch line, then fumble it out of bounds. Otherwise, they're up 28-3 going into the half. So out to start the second half was Bryce Petty. Now, remember, this is an organization that kept four quarterbacks throughout the season. They had Geno Smith. He got hurt. They drafted Christian Hackenberg in the second round. He's not ready. And they kept Bryce Petty, a former fourth-round pick, because some believe that he's the future. And instead of releasing Bryce Petty to hopefully sign him as a practice team player, they felt like somebody would snap him up, so they kept four quarterbacks. The Jets were bad. The Jets were awful, and now the Jets are lying about why they did what they did. All right, so like that sounds fairly reasonable, but wait, you were 3-8 heading into the game, right? So you weren't going to the playoffs. Why would you wait? Like, what's the point of you waiting? There's only one point. It's Monday Night Football. Right? And as much as Monday night does not carry the same cachet that it used to, right? There's lots of things that don't carry the same cachet that they used to, but they're still super important. We've said this before about playing for the New York Knicks, right? The Linsanity deal. Happens anywhere else, it's a story, not a huge story. If that game happens anywhere else and any other time on a Sunday, it's just off into the ether. Like, the San Francisco 49ers are ever bit the disaster of the New York Jets. And I will grant you, no one expected the San Francisco 49ers to be good. And they did not. But the San Francisco 49ers pulled Colin Kaepernick, and now there's talk of Kaepernick going from the starting quarterback to being the third-string quarterback and moving Christian Ponder up. There's talk of it. Okay? Now, Kaepernick's back as the starter, but the idea that Cap was pulled from the game fairly early in the game to, quote-unquote, give a spark to the 49ers. If that happens on a Monday night, it's a much bigger deal. And I'll grant you, if it happens in New York, it's a much bigger deal. And if it happens on a former 10-win team, it's a little bit bigger deal. But the point is very simple. The only possible explanation for why they started Ryan Fitzpatrick last night when you're 3-8 and you're not going to the playoffs anyway is because you knew you didn't want to embarrass yourself on Monday night, which becomes even worse because now you embarrass yourself on Monday night and then you announce, hey, we're going to start the other guy anyway. Like, there's two exciting moments in the game if you're a Jets fan. One, when Bryce Petty was warming up, and two, when they had the streaker on the field. Last night reminds me very much of a couple of years ago when the Kansas City Chiefs blew out the New England Patriots in, I think, week 4 of the season, and our friend Trent Dilfer declared the Patriots' reign over. And the Patriots were dead. Of course, they came back and won a Super Bowl. All right? So they came back and won a Super Bowl. But it was made into a bigger deal because it was on Monday night. A standalone game is more important. Everybody in the league is watching, and I think everybody knows what they've long suspected about Darrelle Revis being much closer to done than having any juice left in the tank. And that the only possible explanation for why they started Ryan Fitzpatrick was because it was Monday night and they hoped to at least be decent, and their worst fears were realized. Because the truth is, like, had you started Petty there, You give Petty a couple starts, and, oh, yeah, by the way, last couple weeks of the season, you can throw Christian Hackenberg in there. Why not? Why not? If you're going to see what one guy has and you don't think he's got it, you got another guy who's not ready, at least you can get his feet wet in a game that does not matter. But amazing, the trip from the penthouse to the outhouse, Todd Bowles was seen as an incredible defensive coordinator, a great communicator, and he parlayed his success in Arizona with the Cardinals to a 10-win season with the Jets, and now people are calling for his head. And all you need to know about the importance of the quarterback position is watch the Jets. There are other issues at play. Watch the Jets.